Hey guys, and here we are at the second beta weekend for ICARUS, and the patch just dropped, and by the time you guys see this, it'll probably be already live. I just thought I would go over some of the changes that they've made to the game. It seems to be coming along really well. This patch seems to have made a few people angry when you look at the forums, but we'll go over that in a few minutes. I just thought I would cover these changes and additions to the game before we get started on the weekend. I'll have a lot of videos this week with gameplay footage. I'm pretty excited to get into the game. I'm really looking forward to it. It's always nice to have a new survival game to play. I hope everybody else is just as excited as I am. I'm not very excited about the animal levels, but we'll cover that later. Anyway, let's look at this. Hey all, please find below a shortened version of our overall patch notes for beta weekend 2. This will provide a more detailed breakdown of some of the other changes we've made. So some of the bug fixes and optimizations. They fixed the mineral voxel rocks, metals, oxide, etc. so that they respawn when you reload a save prospect. Like, people were reloading games over and over so that they could basically exploit minerals, and they fixed that now so the respawn timer saves and they respawn at a regular rate. You can't exploit them to insta respawn, which is a good fix. Fixed a bug so animals can no longer see through walls and cave structures. That's good. Fixed an issue where characters could become locked out of a prospect due to incorrectly being flagged as having left via dropship. Fixed an issue where it was impossible to place items or structures on the ground previously occupied by a broken building piece. This is a problem in a few survival games I've played. This is also an issue in Conan Exiles, that you have to wait a certain amount of time for the server save to go through, and then it'll allow you to place things, so it's good to see that fixed. Animals will no longer attempt to walk through space occupied by a player or dropship. That's good, so you don't have derpy animals walking into the side of your dropship. Fixed a problem where characters could end up in a bad state, preventing them from starting new prospects. Okay. Fixed an issue where a state of cave entrances was not being saved between sessions. Fixed a bug where thunder and lightning was incorrectly being included in a light rain. Yeah, I had that bug a couple of times. It's pretty funny. Fixed a bug where structures could sometimes display cracks after sustaining tiny amounts of damage. That's good. Fixed an issue where animals could have trouble navigating around particular cliff. That's good, but it'll stop a lot of those people out there who have been exploiting hides. Maybe it'll make people mad, who knows. Fixed a bug where a player couldn't consume spoiled meat. Fixed a bug where logged off players were found headless by other prospectors on the planet's surface. That was pretty funny. Improved fire replicating to all players in multiple games. Never saw that one. That would be pretty crazy. So some of the QOL improvements. They tweaked the iron sights on crossbows along with firearms to be more aligned and symmetrical. That's good. Changed the peak icon and light rain icon to more relevant icon. Modified the kill camera behavior to improve target tracking. Added a highlight to specialist slots in the inventory when placing items such as oxygen bladders or oxide. Cool. Added a text indication when attempting to place a deployable on damaged surface, alerting players to the issue. That's always good. I hate when games don't tell you why you can't do something, they just can't tell you can't. It's infuriating. Adjusted light emitting items such as fireplaces, torches, and campfires to retain their fuel source when players leave prospects, so they wouldn't burn out when players return. Nice. Added a fade in, fade out visual effect to the sleep cycle. Increased the level cap to 25. Updated the visual mesh of the oxidizer. Added an option for doors to be hinged on the other side. Added a variation of wood and stone door frames to allow for a double door between two pieces. Nice. Updated main menu background image. Increased damage caused by bears to thatch and wood structures. I don't know if I love that, but I guess it's more believable. Added slots for alternative fuel types to wall and floor torches. Added the option to use sticks, wood, fiber, or coal as a fuel source. I don't know about sticks. I know that people like to have more choices when it comes to fuel, but just for, immersion, you're not going to be jamming a bunch of sticks into your wall torch. Rebalance voxel distribution, with the majority now being found in caves. Adjusted the time of day players are allowed to sleep to 1800 from 1900 and wake up time from 7 to 8. Okay, that's kind of a silly change, but reduced voxel mining XP by 25%. Reduced passive animal hunting by 30%. Wow. Reduced all baby animal hunting experience by 50% of their parents. That'll slow down the leveling. Reduced animal harvesting XP by 25%. Reduced animal harvesting XP of baby animals to 50% of their parent. And remove buffs from eating raw meat to only provide food value. That makes sense. And the recipe changes. Change level required to unlock the lantern from 20 to 15. Set electric furnace required level to unlock to 25. Changed metal oxide dissolver recipe from 12 times iron to 12 times steel. Changed fire extinguisher recipe to include 8 times oxide and 4 times epoxy. Changed the level required to unlock thermos to 25. Changed fuel can recipe to no longer require iron. Changed shotgun recipe to include 32 steel and 4 epoxy and remove the 1 iron. Changed hunting rifle recipe to include 46 steel and 4 epoxy. Changed level required to unlock all carbon armor to 25. Changed aluminum floor trapdoor recipe to include 10 times aluminum and 6 times wood. Changed all concrete recipes to include iron ingot in place of steel ingot. Changed aluminum ladder to iron ladder. Okay. Moved iron cupboard to after small iron crate in tech tree. Changed organic resin recipe to include 1 times oxide. So they seem to be really pushing the oxide in the recipes. Get people out there farming it, I suppose. Changed the icebox recipe to increase iron ingot requirement from 4 to 8 and leather requirement from 4 to 24. That's a huge jump. Change level requirement, unlock the steel bolt to 20, fur armor to 20, leather armor to 15, small iron crate recipe to include 4 times epoxy and remove the copper ingot requirement, medium iron crate recipe to include 8 times epoxy and remove the copper ingot, and change the oxygen tank recipe to include 4 times epoxy. So you can see they've really made a lot of changes. I don't know if you could say they've listened to the community, but they're keeping along the track of making sure that it stays punishing, and anything that people are finding that can be used as an exploit to reduce the punishing aspect of the game, they're really on top of, and they seem to be fixing pretty quickly. So it's looking good. At least they're active and making changes, because a lot of these games kind of peter out and nothing happens. So I'm pretty excited to see how some of these changes will affect things. Definitely leveling will be a lot slower. The increased level cap is nice. I don't know how I feel about the huge increases with the steel ingots to things, but we'll have to see how difficult it is to make the steel ingots, and maybe it's a non-factor. Who knows? So now we'll take a closer look at some of the changes to expect this weekend and some of the stuff that they've added. Here they just talk about how weekend 1 was a big success and all of that. And we'll get down here to what's new. The key addition to this beta weekend is the storms and extreme weather events. They say expect severe winds, flash storms, thunderstorms that can damage your structures, and lightning strikes that could even spark forest fires. You'll receive a warning as they approach to give you time to find a way to build a shelter and unlock your fire whacker, repair hammer, and stronger building tiers. So this will be interesting. It'll make for a lot of funny videos and a lot of people having their entire progress destroyed by a storm. Although I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be exciting. It's kind of nice to get this new stuff in the game. There's so much more than just storms. We've also added 4 times more playable area to explore. That's sick. Caves full of valuable metals, more building options, varied animal danger levels, and more survival challenges like infections and fractures. Oh, that's pretty cool. The varied animal danger is the one thing that I've noticed on the forums since this went live. A lot of people have trouble with. And what they've done is they've added levels to the animals, which I understand what they're trying to do, but at the same time, it's a little bit stupid. Like, you'll see a bear that is level 1 standing beside a bear that is like level 56. So for no reason whatsoever, this level 1 bear is easy to kill, like 2 shots, and then you have this level 56 bear that was standing beside it that just destroys you no matter what. It's like, was the 1 bear training in kung fu for years, or like, really? It doesn't really make sense. They need to figure out maybe a different way to implement that. But it is what it is for now. It's, at least they're trying things. And this was pretty awesome. They dropped 24 hours early so we can all get an extra day of play, which gives us more time to learn how to deal with the storms and such. It's pretty sweet. They, of course, did a character wipe from weekend 1. Some people thought they weren't going to, but it's to be expected during a beta. A 4 times larger map for just this section is pretty sick. It's 4 times larger than the last beta. So, and this is going to be a pretty huge map, because as you can see, this was just the beta 1, and this is like beta 2 area. It's going to be a pretty big map, I think, which is going to be awesome. And then for the caves and mining, one of the larger balance changes affect metal ores in caves. While in the first beta weekend, metal ores were abundant and easy to find, we've adjusted their availability in beta weekend 2. And what they mean is, basically, is they've taken all of the rare ores like oxides and metals and such and moved them into the caves. So you'll have to explore to find these metals, which is, I like that a lot better, because it gives you a reason to explore the map. Having the ability to build a base with rare ores just growing on the hills beside it, it seems like awesome at first, because it's like all this stuff is right there. I can progress really quickly, but it takes away from the game and gets boring really fast. And some people never explore beyond where they've just built their base because everything is right there. So I like this. It pushes people out. More building tiers, which I'm pretty excited about. I love like higher building tiers. So the 2 new tiers with this weekend is aluminum and concrete. So I don't know the aluminum really if I'd be into that, but I'm pretty excited to see what the concrete is like. They've added a lot more survival mechanics. They've added like more challenge and different solution mechanics, modifiers, debuffs, and require careful planning and quick responses. So you can get infected wounds, deep wounds, fractures from fall damage, food poisoning, as well as new bandages and poultices. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. I haven't had a coffee yet. It's probably going to seem obvious to me later, to provide relief. Scaling and animal strength. Here we are. While there were many brilliant animal encounters in beta weekend 1, we've expanded their complexity and variety as we introduce animal scaling. As you explore further into the wilderness, more aggressive, dangerous, powerful, and populated animals will become. Animals also scale as you level, so be prepared to see. This is where I think it's screwed up, because they don't scale as you level. You will log in and be level 1, and there'll be a level 56 bear 6 feet away from you. I don't think that was their intention. Basic firearms. Your weapons are due for an upgrade. Beta Weekend 2 unlocks 2 highly requested firearms, the shotgun, nice, and the hunting rifle. We're keen to hear your experiences with these items and look forward to the amazing clips you're going to capture. The shotgun, I'm just so excited about. They've also made a bunch of graphics optimizations for the weekend. So we'll see how those look. I mean, it looks pretty awesome now, and then they have like their swag and stuff. So overall, some of these changes look pretty amazing. Some of them are questionable. The animal strength is possibly the only one that I really think is not working properly. The other stuff all seems to be smooth and working great. But the scaling animals, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what level you are. you'll see a level 1 animal, then you'll see a level 12 animal, you'll see a level 56 animal. They're just sort of all over the place. So I think this is the one that they're going to be getting the most feedback on, and we're going to see changes come to in beta 3. But for now, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. But overall, I think this is going to be a really exciting week. I just wanted to have a look at these patch notes and let everybody know what changes had taken place, and that the beta is now live probably when you're watching this. So I hope to see you in the game, and I'll be posting a lot of videos this week with my gameplay footage and anything cool or, tips that I might have about how to progress more quickly. Anything really. I'm just pretty excited about this game, and I hope everybody else is too. Anyway, I'll end it here before it drags on too long. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are just as excited as me about some of these changes, and have a great day.